go into our third game of the day. It's going to be Anorthosis Famagusta taking on Karmine Corp. Trouble, I mean, I think we've got expectations of how this game's going to go, if I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, Anorthosis are now out. They can no longer go forward to quarterfinals. So they're pretty much playing for national pride, making sure that you pick up a couple of wins over in group states. Now, EMEA Masters as a whole has been a great machine to produce talent and showcase talent over to the LEC teams, the LCS teams, you know, the bigger leagues that everyone aspires to play in. And for these players, even picking up a victory, you know, you're going to be playing up against KC. Picking up a victory versus KC could be a huge deal, not only for the org, but also the career for a lot of these players with so many scouts looking around. Again, KC has showed flaws. They are 2-2 right now in their group, and they played their second game versus Matchco, in which they lost. It feels like the old flair of KC is not necessarily that the players are, but the flair is not. Back in 2021, when KC was like huge deal and they dominated throughout 2021, it was Targamas and Synchrof just handshaking throughout the entire Rift, and I didn't necessarily see that synergy in the particular game that we saw today. I don't feel like KC played for the win conditions, especially when they had like a heavy dive the backline composition, didn't find the flanks that they needed. So for KC, there's still, of course, there's still hope. They're 2-2. They're very close to like getting in themselves, but now natives are also 2-2, so they have to worry about them.
Absolutely, but it's one of those things where, yeah, we did see a better draft out from KC, but even so, that still wasn't enough. Question is, you know, obviously, I think we have our expectations about this game, but like you raised as well, natives being 2-2 now in the groups, this is an absolute must for KC. Not about pride. It's not about the egos. It's about actually staying above water right now, because if you lose this game to Anorthosis and then later natives find 1 or 2 wins, you could just be out. And that is not how you expect this to be going. Obviously, the expectation is, and if I was to put a percentage chance on it, I think this is like a 99%er for me for KC win this game, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But there are avenues, there are ways. But before we get into this game, I think what we should do is actually just have a little bit of a step back and look at how everything looks here at the EMEA Masters and how all of our groups are shaping out right now. Right at the moment, we do have IW and Matchco who are 4-0 in their groups, so undefeated so far.
Yeah, very important also for the Superliga fans. Bisons picked up a victory versus GTZ. GTZ was hot. They almost brought down Wildcats in Group A. They almost took that 3-0 on day 1. And now they're sitting 2-2, which means that the entire group is wildly open for that second slot. Wildcats have solidified themselves on that top spot, being 4-0, but Bison's picking up that one victory, which I heard also included a Varus top lane. Out of anything, Superliga is crazy fun to watch, and they actually managed to pick up a victory with that one as well.
I do believe right now, I don't know if the game's ended yet, because we're live on our one, so I can't watch both streams at the same time, but there is a Civic mid over on the Group A games going on into LeBlanc, so things are getting a little bit weird over there. Maybe things get a little bit weird over here in Group C. I feel like KC, you know, this would normally be the game where maybe they can do a bit of a victory lap, but they are not in position to do that. It lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really overly surprised, if I'm going to be real with you, but Civic mid lost. But no, this would normally be the time where you expect KC to be doing their victory lap, but they're still playing for a spot. They're still playing to stay in this at all. And I mean, if Matchco win versus natives or Anorthosis, regardless of what happens, they lock first in Group C. And that's massive, because you then avoid whoever is first in the other groups, which means Matchco could potentially make it further than quarters, which is where they set their benchmark in spring. They're going to be looking to beat out and go into those semi-finals, maybe even the finals. It's hard to say, but, you know, they are looking to beat quarters at the very least right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to Group C as well that we're covering today, Anorthosis unfortunately cannot go forward to groups. They're playing again for national pride. And we have 75% of scenarios for no tiebreaker. And 25% of scenarios give us one tiebreaker scenario coming into today's Group C. Now, of course, when it comes to KC, the worst that these guys have ever done at the EMEA Masters, is win it. Like the only time where they came back and people thought, wow, this K-Corp does not look great. I'm pretty sure it was 2022 spring where they had Reckless in the roster as well. It wasn't the greatest in the LFL, and then they came through play-ins. They stomped their way through all the way to finals and won the 3-peat with the team. So every time K-Corp is here, they seem to be winning. So Natives are very close, 2-2. K-Corp is also 2-2. But even if these teams manage to go 2-3 or 3-2 at the end of the day, they're playing against each other. The last game of the day will be later on, not with us, but later on, so stay tuned, will be KC versus Natives, which could be deciding everything. But for now, we're going to jump into KC and Anorthosis. Anorthosis again are not going to be going forward to groups. They're playing for pride. Huge if you can pick up a win versus KC.
And I mean, for the side of KC, if they can find this win, it potentially just guarantees them second. Because keep in mind, historically and earlier in the group, Natives only beat Anorthosis. They did lose to Matchcode. They did lose to Karmine Corp. So there is a world where, you know, the final game of the day, Karmine Corp are already in. And it doesn't really matter for them. But as we are going to see what their picks and bans are going to be looking like, the Azir, the LeBlanc. Once again, Saken just getting heavily targeted like he did in game number 1. On the other side, KC looking to ban away the Rumble, looking to ban away the Ivern, just getting a little bit more typical on that front.
I wonder if we're gonna see Ho-Ho on one of his weird picks. You know, he's brought out the Zillion previously. He's got some action games here and there. We've seen him play Ivern mid, which of course right here is banned. But I wonder if he has anything different up his sleeve to play into that mid lane to kind of shake a little bit Saken and his champion pool. I'm expecting to see potentially something like a counter pick coming in from the side of Anorthosis. I feel like if anything right here, it's the time to showcase your individual skill. I feel like their macro has not been the greatest, and not that KC has necessarily struggled in it, but they are very used to playing this type of very structured game that Anorthosis hasn't necessarily showed yet. So right here, I'm looking at, open that Google sheet and see what counters each champion in each lane and play it. Play to your strengths, play for skirmishes, play for brawls.
Alrighty, well, let's see what is going to get picked up here. Anorthosis going to lock in that Rel. We see the Maokai getting picked up here for Synchroth in the jungle. Anorthosis now looking to see what their answer is going to be. They could just look to lock in a jungler here or go towards that ADC role. They're going to go give Golden Toast the Kai'Sa, and Kai'Sa Rel is actually quite a good lane because Kai'Sa, a bit like the Nautilus, can set up Rel, just like the Nautilus, can set up the passive stacks for some early trades over to the side of Kai'Sa. And remember, as much as people do think of Kai'Sa as an AP champion at the moment, there is still some flexibility. We did see it yesterday, the AD Kai'Sa come out, so there is a world where it can come through. Yeah, true. Absolutely.
This time, he's going to go with the Zeri, a little bit for more late game scaling. I feel like when you're playing versus a team like Anorthosis that likes to be a little bit more scrappy in the early game, making sure that you have a pretty solid front to back, I feel like is the key to just not chancing it, right? And not trying to play straight into their hands, straight into their game. Cabochard, of course, known for playing these brawlers, and his Renekton is one of his infamous champions as well towards the top side of the map. A-Leaf is going to just take a back seat right here and go towards the Ornn. I can't say that I'm very happy seeing A-Leaf on something like the Ornn, but it feels like Anorthosis are going to take a step back. They're the ones that are going to try to play a little bit more front to back-ish.
Alrighty, well, moving into that second ban phase, the Alistair is going to get denied. I played it in the last game, but denying it there from the side of Targamas. Curious to see what the game plan is going to be. Now, when I look at Anorthosis, Spooky genuinely could look to lock in something like that Vi. It's a pretty traditional answer to the Zeri. So maybe something like that should get thought about from the side of KC, but they are just going to ban away the Jace here from Ho-Ho. And maybe just looking to pinch that mid pool even further.
I would like to see something potentially like Elisandra or an Ahri mid lane for Ho-Ho and a Nocturne for Spooky. I just really like when you pair up something like an Ornn ultimate with a Nocturne ultimate, because then you do not necessarily have the vision to see where the Ornn ultimate's coming from. Levy, he's playing on one of his mains as well, which is that Rel. You can very easily flank through a wall, and the Kai'Sa's going to be flying into the backline. Something that can actually mimic or mirror the backline access of a Nocturne, and Kai'Sa can very well do that together with something like an Ahri.
Yeah, no, it could definitely be an angle for them to take there. Seeing what Anorthosis are going to pick up here, though, for their jungler. They kept it weird. They go for the Viego Bit of a teamfight monster. Obviously, can get those resets and the survivability from the Viegos. Moving over to KC, though, as they're going to be looking to pick up their next round of champions. See what Saken's got in the tank. I don't expect any of these hovers to get picked up. I think Callis is just having a little bit of fun, unless there's something I don't know. But just weighing it down a little bit before they do decide to go for a more traditional support there, locking in the Nautilus. I think that's a pretty solid one. I know that obviously they got the Rel, but the Rel is flexible. Actually, no, because they got Viego. Nope, don't worry. Nautilus is a fine pick. Ignore me entirely. I was thinking flex scenarios where Nautilus could come out as an answer, but unless you're just like straight up trolling, that's not going to be the case. And see what they decide to round out here. Now, they're looking for a mid laner here for Saken, currently hovering something which does get shown up occasionally.
Like, give us the OG Rise. Okay, he's gonna give us. Okay, this is a KC that looks scared when it comes to this particular game. This is a KC that doesn't play necessarily to their strengths, which is having bully solo laners and playing through the jungle support, coming to aid them and to get early advantages. This is a KC that wants to play late game. This is a KC that wants to play front to back. This is a KC that wants to...
Did that just get locked in? I did not expect to be seeing old Doggo show up in this game.
I didn't even know this champion was available, so I don't even know what it does. I'm just going to open Wiki right now.
She sends out swords, little dogs jump at you and nip away. I mean, actually, into the Victor, I'm not entirely against it. I've not played this matchup into the Victor at all, but I mean, Victor obviously relies on his Q for movement speed, but if you can wait that out and then land the blade and then get the dogs to jump forward, you can just slowly chip away at the Victor's health bar. Victor typically wins lane by chipping away at you and using his shield for positive trades, but it can be a little bit hard. And those dogs, they're not one-shottable. You have to put a little bit of resources into taking them out. So I did not expect the Neferi. I can't remember how the champ is. Neferi, thank you. I had a complete brain fart on that one. I didn't expect Doggo to show up today, but here we go. The Neferi for Ho-Ho. You wanted something exciting? We got something exciting.
Oh, okay. You guys, in case you don't know how Neferi works, me neither. I didn't know it was enabled. So we're gonna get to learn it together right here. Of course, Neferi, if I'm not wrong, is a melee champion. So Victor is pretty good at zoning melee champions away, and honestly, he doesn't need to spend way too many resources to push down the wave. So I want to see how Ho-Ho is going to be piloting around that mid lane and what he actually thinks that this champion brings into the table to actually fit the composition. Because from what I'm seeing from the rest, it's like I'm expecting somebody that will set up Spooky for success, right? You have the Ornn ult that can reach the backline. You have the Rel that can fly into the backline together with the Kai'Sa and the Viego. Now, how does Neferi fit into this entire composition? That would be the cool thing.
Unfortunately, my experience with Neferi as a mid laner was she got launched while I was playing some Gwen mid, so I know that Gwen has a good matchup into her. Outside of that, I'm not really gonna have much of an answer.
I don't mean to burst your bubble, but no one plays Gwen mid but you.
I play Gwen mid. I also play GP mid, so don't listen to me. My mid pool is bizarre to say the least. But yeah, no, I like you said, I think it is still Victor. He has a very solid matchup into champions like Neferi, these melee champions. And as you can see, there was a little taster of those trades early. Getting the Q off onto Ho-Ho does obviously eat the daggers and the dogs to jump forward and get a little bit of chip damage away. And as Neferi starts to stack up more lethality and more AD, those dogs do start to hurt. So it's something you do have to play around. He can recast as well. So if you miss the first one, you can land that second one. As you see here, a little bit of chip damage away, lands that second one. That's how the trade should be going for the Neferi.
Also, thank you very much to the observers for sticking around on Neferi. I think this is the first time that we're actually seeing it competitively, if I'm not wrong, and it's really cool just to see how the champion works over in the mid lane. Now, when it comes to the side of K-Corp, I think they're going to take a pretty slow approach when it comes to playing the game. Every single one of their lanes kind of scales. So if you want to play through a ganking lane, that would probably be towards Cabochard in the top lane. He does have the Renekton. He wants to be a bully early on towards the ore. And Cabochard is one of the strongest solo top laners that we have in the ERLs currently, and even before that, like ULCS and LEC and all that. So he's pretty good at getting advantages on his own, especially when he's on a lane bully like the Renekton. But having a little bit of a nudge from Syncrof up in the top lane, potentially like something like a dive onto the Orange, taking completely out of the picture, will set the Renekton free on other lanes.
Absolutely. Well, for now, it is, you know, we focused a lot on the mid lane, but seeing that Spooky may be looking to set up here onto the bot side. Lovely little hook. Actually, Levi just goes down immediately. Spooky too slow to the play. Kalist trying to get away. Can they make the escape? Targamas, though, playing interrupt, and Spooky has to dash away. Targamas will be getting his Q back up fairly soon, so Spooky desperately trying to get away, but they've lined that hook. They land the follow-up. Golden Toast in danger. He cleanses too early. 2 kills to Kalist to get this game off.
Kalist with the 2v3 together with Targamas 2-0, 800 gold up 3 minutes into the game. We're expecting this area to come online way later when you've got 2-3 items for the champion, but this is going to be a fairly accelerated laning phase, and Spooky is going to take the Skull Crab. Press the B button and go again, and we're going to see what happened over in the bot lane. Level 3 versus level 2. Levi is pushing too far forward. Bomb plate is going to get procced by Kalist, and Targamas does not hesitate. There are no minions. There's no bomb plating. Levi is only level 2 versus level 3 on the side of KC. They underestimated the damage and the trades. The HP that you do get from a level up in the very early stages of the game is huge. Having the extra defenses, the extra HP is massive. This is why you can't take these trades when you're 1 level down with a huge minion wave on you.
Absolutely. Real mistake there coming in, and punished heavily by KCs. Seiken is having a little bit of a rough time in this lane. Now that the Serrated Dirk's been finished up for Ho-Ho, returns back to lane with that teleport and is just poking away slowly but surely. Obviously, Seiken's still got that teleport, so it's just looking to try and get the optimal base for themselves off the back of that. As the wave is just in an absolutely dreadful state for Anorthosis, and Kalist just holding this wave where they want it, and there's really not much Syncrof can do. Sorry, that was Syncrof. That's his jungler. There's not really much Spooky can do about this, so they're just going to have to accept the CS loss here, and it's going to be slowly working its way forward. But now, Levi jumps away. The flash followed by Syncrof. Maybe getting a little bit too overexcited. KC will go back and grab that wave, but Syncrof now may find himself in a little bit of danger. They're going to look to try and go in for the chase. Like you said, no flash available, but the slow comes in. There's the hook for the follow-up, and oh no! That is an incredibly fed Zeri. Spooky will almost definitely go down. Kalist with 3 kills and an assist. Anorthosis are just in full-on sad mode now.
3-0 on that Zeri, and honestly, Syncrof should have died there. That was really bad decision-making by the KC jungler to walk back into the river, not knowing that Spooky would be around. That's what Spooky lives for when he's playing Viego, getting these early resets. But you'll see again, Syncrof walks up, has just used his flash, but Targamas on the rescue, hooking straight into I-11, allowing Kalist to put down the pain. This is going to be a Zeri with a very early first item. Almost 2 turret platings down. Golden Toast hasn't even had time to reset. He's playing on about 45% HP in this lane. He's going to get permanently shoved underneath his tower. Cannot do nothing because you are so short range onto that Kai'Sa. You actually need to get ahead to play these fights. Ho-Ho's just going to dash straight out of this one. And bot lane is looking kind of grim. Targamas is looking. They got another plating.
No way. No way is Levi forced out of the lane immediately. Oh, that is so tragic. That is so, so tragic. Kalist is just having the most... This is the most fun an ADC can have. You get early kills like that and then 3 tower plates. And just, there's nothing but Anorthosis can do. They're going to lose wave after wave after wave. Syncrof is even going to pick up the Hextech Dragon for his team off the back of this as well. And Anorthosis Famagusta in some danger. They are going to see Ho-Ho. He goes in for the ult, goes for the chase forward, but the Gravity Well The ultimate, just too much to scare him off. Cabochard has to pop the ultimate. Good little flash away there from Elif. Is going to try and go in for the slice, the dice, the heal. Elif heavily chunked out. Spooky's too low. Casey are unstoppable in this game.
Oh my god, Cabochard on his Renekton is just disgusting. He flashes away from the Ornhorn. Now he can actually dive them. Spooky is around, but he's level 5. He's only level 5 with about 10% HP. Levy, level 4 versus level 7 Renekton. I don't know if you want this. Levy's just going to find a control towards the top side of the map. And back off, clearing that one. KC, it's all KC this game. The bot lane, the mid lane, the top lane, everything going for them. Cabochard might be caught between 3 members of Anorthosis, kind of take him down.
Yeah, they're going to jump in. Stacy Lair does come down, but Golden Toast is getting dove on the other side. He's picked up. We need to go back to top lane. It's Cabu! Almost turns it! No way! He's about to get the Q back up. They're going to come in for the chase, and there he goes, taken down by Elif. Cabochard buying so much time, bringing 3 people to his side of the map. And they're too low to do Herald.
It doesn't matter.
There's nothing they can do about that.
That kill went to Ornn. Ornn is not necessarily going to carry your game. Ideally, you would want that kill to go towards your Viego. That is every single tower plating but one gone down in the bot lane without the use of Rift Herald. Kalista is going to finish off this tower, and what they're going to do is they're going to transfer him towards the top side of the map. They're going to take that Rift Herald and take the rest of the remaining tower plates towards the top side. Talking about top side, 3 members of Anorthosis. Spooky just did his cracks just to get that level 6, to be able to get that ultimate ult to Cabochard, and almost 2 members right here for Anorthosis go down. They had to flash out both him and Alif on that exchange. Alif is going to be the one, the beneficiary one, to get that kill from Cabochard, but it's only an Ornn. I don't think it's gonna matter too much. 600 gold lead in the jungle. And look at 3.1k lead on the AD carries. It's absolutely massive. The only one who's close to Kalista in terms of gold is Ho-Ho, and that's 1.5 game down, 2.5k down.
Targamas has more gold than Golden Toast. Golden Toast is the second poorest person in the game. Poorest being his support. Really, really rough game for them, and just an absolutely accelerated Zeri, who's got that static shiv already finished up. Levi, unfortunately, will be going down again. Kalista able to secure that kill. Ultimate pop there by Ho-Ho, but there's really nothing they can do, and Kalista just goes back off to getting that kill. Got the Zeal, got the static shiv, boots in pocket. These plates are going to melt, and they're just making sure that's solo gold to their Zeri. They know that this is just going to be a colossal acceleration, an absolutely monumental lead, and there's really nothing Anorthosis can do, unfortunately. Looking like they might be going out of this tournament on a little bit of a whimper.
And you know what? I thought that we were going to do Rift Herald towards the top side of the map just to put it on the tower. They don't need to. Kalista is like dispatching of every tower plate without the Herald. So the better choice right here would be take that Rift Herald and pop it mid. Opening up mid lane means that Ho-Ho cannot actually play his game. Spooky's going to dash away from that one. But yeah, opening up that Rift Herald in the mid lane takes the remaining plates in the mid and also opens up the map massively. I mean, right now you've got a 4-0 Zeri, 4,000 gold up on his counterpart as well. You can do whatever the heck you want on the map.
I mean, there's actually a world where they just use it top and get the inner tower as well, because that's worth 650 gold. So that's a massive injection of cash. Obviously, there's still plates. There's still a lot they can do if they do decide to focus that mid lane. But now, though, Elif in danger. They get the Magnet Storm off, and that's actually Targamas losing his life. Reset coming in from Spooky. Kalista doing so much damage on the backside, though. They find themselves the tower dive. Failure from KC and Anorthosis. They do get a punish off.
I don't understand. So over-eager. You have a 1.5 item Zeri with you. Play slow. Play to your advantage. Stop tanking tower shots, KC.
Yeah, that was a real mistake there from KC.
That was my wine of the day. That was it.
That was their we can make one mistake. That was their one mistake of the game. Any more of those, and you do start to worry that you're putting a little bit too much gold, because both of those kills went to Spooky, who's someone who will use that gold. Unlike the earlier kill onto Cabochard where Elif got the kill. Spooky having that gold, he is going to be able to do it. You can see the power of the champion and what they can do with that one. As Kalista will take this top lane tower at a total of 10 plates to their Zeri, along with 4 kills and 2 assists.
Well, there is still more to go. That Zeri has about 1.5 minutes to get his butt into that mid lane. Rift Herald still exists in Synchro's pocket. And it's perfectly synced up with 30 seconds on the Dragon as well. Pop down that that Rift Herald, sorry, in the mid lane. Get your Zeri there as well. And it's going to be more than 10 turret platings going to the Zeri. Now very close to the second item for Kalist as well. It's the perfect alibi. Drop down the Herald, push in that mid lane, get the remaining plates, get straight into that river. Who's going to contest you? That Zeri is just unbeatable right now.
Yeah, that Zeri is genuinely terrifying. Kalist is able to chip away at that tower.
Oh, there you go. More plates.
Teleport coming in. Herald gets placed down. They've got a minute left, and they are going to guarantee every plate. It's going to be a 15-plater here for the side of KC. Spooky forced to flash away. The tower low HP, but they lock everybody in place. The follow-up is coming in. Cabochard just flashes into the middle of everyone. Two members crumble, and KC walking through everyone on the side of Anorthosis. A double kill over to Kalist. They get the second charge as well. Tower number 2 will hold alive for a little bit longer as Targum is just about survives. Golden Toast is not pushing that button. No way, buddy. As Golden Toast goes for the ult for safety, Kalist is worth a shutdown, but it's not going to mean diddly squat. Tower in pocket as well. A 6,300 gold lead to KC's AD carry.
So there's a 10,000 gold lead between the teams. More than 60% of that is onto Kalist on the Zeri right now. Level 9 to level 7 on his counterpart. Right here, Synchro will do his due diligence since he's carrying the smite, in this game. Yeah. He's going to take down the second Dragon for KC, but I don't think this is what they're going to need to finish the game. I feel like at 20 minutes, the second the Baron spawns, I think this is going to be the easiest way to break through the base. You've already used the first Rift Herald. You can actually use a second Rift Herald. Maybe a Dancing Shelly. Maybe a Dancing one. But as we see here on the replay, Kalist plays very aggro, knowing how fed he is. Our mid lane tower is going to go down very quickly. Already used the Ornthorn as well. Not a huge effect. Only hit the Renekton. And by the time everyone piles up, that Zeri cleans everyone right off the map.
Absolutely just one-sided affair coming in from KC. They are... You can see there's a bit of anger, a bit of frustration from that second loss to Matchco. It's constantly putting up the angry bee. They are looking to make sure that at the very least they will be exiting this group in second. But honestly, because of how well Matchco have played, KC have a much harder run in playoffs than maybe they would have liked.
There's a lot of teams right now are hoping to get second in this group as well if Matchco keeps winning right here, which means that we have to face it. We are now on the second phase of the groups. This is the last time these teams will play in their respective groups, as KC want a few more kills right here. They're gonna get Leva. He's gone. Absolutely gone.
He just hasn't got to play League of Legends.
I'm just gonna continue talking about the groups right here because I feel like this game is as good as done. So usually when the second day of groups starts unfolding, we start speaking about, hey, who gets seed 1 and who gets seed 2. Because usually quarterfinals are so important and you want to take a step further than that when you come out of your groups. So making sure that your seed 1 in your group kind of balances the odds that you're going to get not one of the strongest contenders that we have currently at EMEA Masters. So potentially a team like BK Rogue or Wildcats, by having a first seed, you're going to be dodging those ones when it comes to quarterfinals. It's the best seeding. Right here with Matchco being 4-0 in Group C, it makes it a little bit more difficult for KC to potentially face another friend's team if they move forward to quarters.
And it's crazy that we're on to one last tier 2 standing, and second Herald hasn't even spawned yet. Teleport coming in. KC, they just so confident that they can take this time. They got 3 items on Kalist. He's got Infinity Edge, Static Shift, Hurricane. All it's going to take is one really solid Maokai ult, and the whole team just get aced from Anorthosis. The good news is if they do get aced, death timers are still relatively short, so... There's a silver lining in everything.
You get to spawn fast to die again.
Yeah, I mean, also, I guess the good news is, like, Levy and Golden Toast kind of not worth that much money right now.
Here comes.
So here we go. They're going to throw in and try and lock Elise down, but that's going to be one. Saken able to secure it. Elif trying to put some damage out, but Khalees pops the ultimate and is absolutely obliterating health bars. Gets the dodge off of the ultimate. The W even able to secure himself the kill. There's the triple. There's the dunk. There's the ace. Casey just making this look easy.
Very, very, very dominant. And that's exactly how it should be. Anorthosis are coming into this match 0-4. They've lost to KC before. They've lost to every other team in the groups. KC need to assert the dominance right here and right now. Khalees, of course, being very low. And you mentioned it as well. The gray screens are very short currently, since we're only 18 minutes into the game. And the second referral has spawned. This could be a tool to actually push into Anorthosis base on the next time that you are back out on the map. Now we're getting some resets from KC. Take the Herald, end the game.
Trouble, I think that might actually be the game plan. There's 4 turrets left in this game.
I'm down for it, Shelly.
They're about to get Rift Herald. They've got 3.5 items on Khalees. He's only a single level lead over Golden Toast. So, hey, Golden Toast, good job on actually staying relatively close in experience. But yeah, the graph kind of tells you everything you really need to know.
Okay, I'm going to take it away from the experience. Golden Toast has a static shift, and he's playing AP poke Kai'Sa. I see Infinity Edge, I see static shift, I see Hurricane, I see the beginning of a Last Whisper right there for Khalees. You know, he has a stopwatch for good measure, just in case he's feeling, a little bit frisky. He wants to play a little bit too far forward. 16.6k damage.
That is so
unfair. One on the other side is Ornn.
He's almost done 1,000 damage a minute. It's actually so disgusting how much damage he's doing. And yeah, there's the Herald. Spooky's going to do everything in his power to stop this Herald from going in for the charge, but Spooky may just lose his life for it. He loses his ultimate at the very least. Charge number 1 is going to come out. The tower's going to get bopped. They've got Demolish still to work with. You might have called it, Trouble. It might just be the Dancing Herald coming in for the side of KC. Elif doing his best to deal with this one, but it's already a double kill for Khalees. They're going to get the charge. They're going to get the Nexus. Under 20 minutes with a dancing Shelly. KC, that didn't even look remotely difficult for them.
That was absolute domination coming in from the French team. And I'm sure that's what everyone wanted to see from KC moving forward, especially when you're playing a team that has gone 0-4 in groups. You want that domination. You want that 19-minute end game from KC coming in. And honestly, they do have still a hard task in their hands. Natives, even though they've looked shaky, it will be their last opponent on the day, will be the last game of the day, and it could very well be the decider on whether KC or Natives make it through to quarters.
Absolutely. I think, it's a positive step for Karmine Corp, but I hate to be that guy, but this was kind of their free win game. They've got to play Natives later on in the day. That's going to be their really important one. But also, I guess, they're going to be very keenly watching how Natives play. Because if Natives lose their next 2 games, or their next game, then there's just, it's breathing room. They're going to be super, super happy with this one. But these are going to be a very, very quick replay package. I think this game was over so quick. I feel so sorry for Levi. All they did was accept the match, and then that's it. And then just saw their Nexus explode. They did not get to play much League of Legends here.
Yeah, on the other hand side, if you're KC, I think this particular game got you a little bit warmed up from the first one versus match go. Again, they're going to have to wait one in between until they have to play Natives again at the very end of the day, but they're sitting pretty warmly at 3-2 right now over in Group C. Now, of course, this was a nail biter right here because Saboshar was ahead also on the Renekton, and he almost was able to kill everyone. In this exchange that we're seeing. Spooky just about hit level 6 for his Krugs before he took that exchange over the top side of the map, but it felt like whatever Anorthosis tried on the map, it was shut down, because when the Zeri got that far ahead, it kind of bleeds the pressure around the map. They took the entire plating tower down bot lane, then they took the entirety of the top lane tower with tire platings in the top lane with Zeri, then they transitioned into mid lane and took that one instead, used the first Herald to open up the base, used the second Herald to end the game, and this is how the story unfolded.
A 15-plater. This is what a 15-plater looks like. 22,000 damage from Khalees coming in, and 5.1 on the other side. That is... Yeah, he actually did over 1,000 damage a minute. You know what this is?
I'm sad about?
Go on.
I didn't get to see the potential of Nafiri. I think you see it, man.
I also feel like there's a reason this champ hasn't had any appearances so far in the tournament until today. Tragic, because I believe this actually might be the first competitive Nafiri we've had on a stream.
I think so too.
So not particularly the greatest performance. I did get way back in the day, get to cover the first ever Aatrox when it first showed up, when they reworked him, and it was exactly the same. It just absolutely crumbled. So tragic. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, but at the end of the day, like, you know, you expected Anorthosis, who haven't been able to pick up a single win in this group, not to have the best performance against the team, but have won this title 3 times in a row. This next game, though, is going to be an absolute banger. It means so much for both of the teams playing. We're going to have for our game 4 Natives taking on Matchco. We'll be back after that for game number 4, so we'll see you in a moment.